Okay, welcome back, warrior. We are on Helaman chapter 8. So last chapter, Helaman chapter 7, I talked about how Nephi was reminiscing on the old days and how everything was so good back then. And I was saying sometimes it's not good for us to reflect on the past and live there because we can't progress. And so what I do like that Nephi did was that he started preaching to the people to help them remember that the Lord is not going to be able to protect them if they're being wicked and making bad choices. And they're not going to be able to feel the Spirit, and they're not going to be able to progress, and they're going to basically destroy themselves from within. And even though it might seem like it was somebody else that came by and destroyed them, right? So anyways, here we are. He was in the tower. And so now we're going to read chapter 8. Let's see what it says. Chapter 8. Corrupt judges seek to incite the people against Nephi, Abraham, Moses, Zenock, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lehi, and Nephi all testified of Christ by inspiration. Yes, I know. Nephi announces the murder of the chief judge. Okay, so let me pause for a second. It seems like somebody's at the door. Of course, the one time I don't rush to get the door, it's the one where they leave a paper. I hate signature required. Although, it's just kind of a pain, you know? Just leave it at my doorstep. It's fine. I have a camera. Anyway. We're not here to vent about mail. Okay. All right. Where was I? Oh, I just read this one. Okay. So, and I threw my glasses. Okay, they're over there. Okay, and now it came to pass that when Nephi had said these words, behold, there were men who were judges, who also belonged to the secret band of Gadianton, and they were angry. And they cried out against him, saying unto the people, why do ye not seize upon this man and bring him forth, that he may be condemned according to the crime which he has done? And you're like, what? What crime? You're just making people feel bad because they're not making good choices. That's the crime. Why seest thou this man and hearest him revile against this people and against our law? For behold, Nephi had spoken unto them concerning the corruptness of their law. Yea, many things did he speak which cannot be written. Good job, Nephi. And nothing did he speak which was contrary to the commandments of God. And those judges were angry with him because he spake plainly unto them concerning their secret works of darkness. Nevertheless, they durst not lay their own hands upon him, for they feared the people, lest they should cry out against them. Therefore, they did cry unto the people, saying, why do you suffer this man to revile against us? For behold, he doth condemn all this people, even unto destruction. Yea, and also that these our great cities shall be taken from us, that we shall have no place in them. And now we know that this is impossible. For behold, we are powerful, and our cities are great, and our cities great. Therefore, our enemies can have no power over us. Okay, well, now we're just getting cocky. Okay, so then verse 7, and it came to pass that thus they did stir up the people to anger against Nephi, and raised contentions among them. For there were some who did cry out, let this man alone, for he is a good man, and those things which he saith will surely come to pass, except we repent. Those were the wise peeps right there. Yea, behold, all the judgments will come upon us, which he has testified unto us, for we know that he has testified aright unto us concerning our iniquities, and behold, they are many, and he knoweth as well all things which shall befall us, as he knoweth of our iniquities. Yea, and behold, if he had not been a prophet, he could not have testified concerning those things. Oh, I love that those people were able to testify about Nephi and how he was a prophet, because I think it's so important for us to follow the prophet and to testify of his words and his truthfulness, because like Sherry Dew says, prophets can see around corners. And there's so many examples of that. And just a couple really quick was, the Come Follow Me program, home-centered, church-supported, came out before COVID. Perfect timing, right? And another one was where President Nelson, I think it was before he became an apostle, was the one that put cell phones in the hands of missionaries. And they tried it out in a couple areas, I think, and all the things that they thought that were bad that were going to happen totally did happen. Anyway, they perfected everything and they put systems in place and things in place. And then just before COVID, they, like President Nelson, approved every missionary to have a cell phone. And then, bam, what happened? COVID, right? And then they couldn't preach door to door anymore. And they had to go and convert people through their cell phones, through their devices, right? And did that year suffer in conversions? Nope. In fact, I think that they said they had the most that they had ever had yet. So anyway, okay, I think I'm spitting. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm not getting that old yet. Okay. So prophets can see around corners. Prophets can testify. I remember President Hinckley testifying of what happens in raves. And I was like, how does he know? He is an old guy. I know he's never stepped into one of those. And it kind of just testified to me that the Lord shows him things without him having to be there. And the Lord would only show those things to a prophet of the Lord and give him that to say to the rest of the world about what happens there and how to keep us safe, right? So anyways, I love prophets of the Lord. They are amazing and they are true prophets. And mouthpieces to Jesus Christ. So it's important for us to follow the prophet. Okay, verse 10. And it came to pass that those people who sought to destroy Nephi were compelled because of their fear that they did not lay their hands on him. Therefore he began again to speak unto them, seeing that he had gained favor in the eyes of some, insomuch that the remainder of them did fear. Okay. So he is just testifying, and it is awesome. In verses 5 and 6, the judges tried to stir the people up against Nephi because he was saying harsh things, right, about them. And these are interesting verses because we do not get many specific examples of stirring up the scriptures. We just know that it happens a lot. So that was what happened all the time among the Nephites. They would get stirred up until they went to war. They didn't really want to go to war, but there was someone at the top who would do the stirring the pot, right? Is that what we call it? Who would stir until the Lamanites wanted to go. But we aren't told exactly what they said. So these verses are interesting because Mormon tells us what persuasions were used. Oh, that's interesting. So these judges picked out of Nephi's prophecies the most offensive things they could find and used them to try to sway the people. But they were not teaching what Nephi really said, right? They twisted his words to try to anger the people. And they said that Nephi condemned the people to destruction, which was not true, obviously. Nephi warned them. He told them that this was how things would go for them if they didn't repent, right? Anyway, so these are all the things that would have been hard to hear. It would have been easier to take the side of the judges and believe them, but they were the defenders in the crowd who stopped up the judges. These individuals would have been brave because they were standing up to men who could convince them, who could convict him if they wished. These defenders stood up and testified against what the judges were saying. They stood as a witness that Nephi was a prophet and everything he was saying was true. Yes. Okay, verses 11 to 13. Therefore, he was constrained to speak more unto them, saying, Behold, my brethren, have ye not read that God gave power unto one man, even Moses, to smite upon the waters of the Red Sea, that they parted hither and thither, insomuch that the Israelites, who were our fathers, came through upon dry ground, and the waters closed upon the armies of the Egyptians and swallowed them up. And now behold, if God gave unto this man such power, then why should ye dispute among yourselves, and say that he hath given unto me no power, whereby I may know concerning the judgments that shall come upon you, except ye repent? But behold, ye not only deny my words, but ye also deny all the words which have been spoken by our fathers, and also the words which were spoken by this man Moses, who had such great power given unto him, yea, the words which he hath spoken concerning the coming of the Messiah. Yea, did he not bear record that the Son of God should come? And as he lifted up the brazen serpent in the wilderness, even so shall he be lifted up who should come. And as many as should look upon the serpent should live. Even so, as many as should look upon the Son of God with faith, having a contrite spirit, might live, even unto that life which is eternal. And now behold, Moses did not only testify of these things, of Christ, right? But also all the holy prophets from his days, even to the days of Abraham. Yea, and behold, Abraham saw of his coming, and was filled with gladness, and did rejoice. Yea, and behold, I say unto you that Abraham not only knew of these things, but there were many before the days of Abraham who were called by the order of God, yea, even after the order of his Son. And this, that it should be shown unto the people a great many thousand years before his coming, that even redemption should come upon them. And now I would that ye should know that even since the days of Abraham, there have been many prophets that have testified these things. Yea, behold, the prophet Zenos did testify boldly, for which he was slain. And behold, also Zenock, and also Isaias, and also Isaiah and Jeremiah. Jeremiah being that same prophet who testified of the destruction of Jerusalem. And now we know that Jerusalem was destroyed according to the words of Jeremiah. Oh, then why not the Son of God come according to his prophecy? And now will you dispute that Jerusalem was destroyed? Will ye say that the son of Zedekiah were not slain all except it were Mulek? Yea, and do ye not behold that the seed of Zedekiah are with us? And they were driven out of the land of Jerusalem. But behold, this is not all. Our father Lehi was driven out of Jerusalem because he testified of these things. Nephi also testified of these things. And also almost all of our fathers, even down to this time, yea, they have testified of the coming of Christ, and have looked forward, and have rejoiced in his day, which is to come. And behold, he is God, and he is with them, and he did manifest himself unto them, that they were redeemed by him, and they gave unto him glory, because of that which is to come. And now, seeing ye know these things, and cannot deny them, except ye shall lie, therefore in this ye have sinned, for ye have rejected all these things, notwithstanding so many evidences which ye have received. Yea, even ye have received all things, both things in heaven and all things which are in the earth, as a witness that they are true. But behold, ye have rejected the truth, and have rebelled against your holy God. And even at this time, instead of laying up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where nothing doth corrupt, and where nothing can come, which is unclean, ye are heaping up for yourselves, oh, I love this visual, heaping up for yourselves wrath against the day of judgment. Yea, even at this time, ye are ripening because of your murders and your fornication and wickedness for everlasting destruction. Yea, and except ye repent, it will come unto you soon. Ooh. Yea, behold, it is now even at your doors. Yea, go ye in unto the judgment seat, and search, and behold, your judge is murdered, and he lieth in his blood, and he hath been murdered by his brother, who seeketh to sit in the judgment seat. And behold, they both belong to your secret band, whose author is Gadianton, and the evil one who seeketh to destroy the souls of men. Boom! He's like, let me tell you all this, and I'm going to prophesy about your wickedness, because y'alls are evil. And he did. I love it. Okay, so there's a quote from Elder Ulysses Suarez. Elder Ulysses Suarez says, quote, I know a very faithful young deacon, inasmuch as he has sought to follow the counsel of his parents and church leaders, his faith and determination have been tested every day, even at his young age. He told me one day he was surprised by a very difficult and uncomfortable situation. His friends were accessing pornographic images on their cell phones. In that exact moment, this young man had to decide what was most important, his popularity or his righteousness. In the few seconds that followed, he was filled with courage and told his friends that what they were doing was not right. Moreover, he told them that they should stop what they were doing or they would become slaves to it. Most of his classmates ridiculed his counsel, saying that it was a part of life and that there was nothing wrong with it. However, there was one among them who listened to the counsel of that young man and decided to stop what he was doing. End quote. Ooh, I love it. And the title of this is Be a Voice of Truth. Elder Ulysses Suarez, April 2015 General Conference. I remember that talk. So important to be that voice of truth, even amongst our friends and amongst our peers. Because it's that one person you don't know who's gonna need to hear that. And remember when I told you that I was called church lady a while back in high school? I did want to say there was a time when we had this assembly, and I think it was my 10th grade year. Anyway, you know, assemblies, there's like so many kids running around crazy and people saying hi and what's up and whatever. Anyway, this one person came up to me and said, by the way, I was the only member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in my high school. And I grew up in Florida, South Florida. And anyways, she came up to me and was like, Linda. And of course, I didn't know her. I'm like, how do I not know this person? She knows my name. I felt really bad already. And I was like, hi, you know, you're like excited when people know your name and you wish the Spirit would just bring you their name. Like that is one thing that I struggle with. Like maybe the Spirit's trying to tell me their name and I can't understand it or whatever. But I wish that the Spirit would just really help me know people's names and like bring that to my remembrance. That matters. I want to let them know that they matter. Right. And that's like one thing that I like to do, to remember people's names, but like I can't, sometimes it just doesn't come. Anyway, so I didn't know her name, but I was like, hi, how are you doing? You know, like I probably recognized her face, but something she said, she's like, I decided to read the Book of Mormon and I'm going to get baptized. And I was like, what? Like it was the best. I was like, first of all, I didn't even remember telling people about the Book of Mormon. That is sometimes how powerful the Spirit can be, where you're just talking and the Spirit is telling you to say things and you don't remember what you said, right? Had no idea that I even told anybody to read the Book of Mormon, but I'm glad that I did. And glad that the Spirit told me to say those things. And she was so excited. And I was like, so excited for her. And I was, you're going to get baptized? This is so cool. Anyway, that was the first time I remember seeing her and the last time I remember seeing her. And I wish, like back then we didn't have phones like the way we have now, because we would have been like, let's take a selfie and that'd be so cool. Like I would love to go to your baptism, you know, like how did I not think of these things then? Anyway, and it was just so cool that she just was like, thank you so much. And I was just like, sure, you know, and I'm like, what? How is this even possible? But yeah, be a voice of truth. You never know who's going to need it. Also, you never know. You won't even remember that you testified. And maybe you would, and maybe you wouldn't, but I don't know. And it's possible that I was going through a lot of stuff then too, and that I just didn't remember because like I was trying to block out certain things in my family life. Anyway, so it probably just got blocked out along with other things. But it was one of the times that I remember significantly feeling like that deep joy for like bringing somebody to Christ, even though I didn't remember talking about him. But they called me church lady for a reason, right? So anyways, I must have talked about going to church and about my faith in Jesus Christ a lot. And I'm glad that I get to do it now because it fills my cup to talk about Christ and to learn more about him. And I love reading these scriptures with you. So thanks for being here. All right, that is it for Helaman chapter 8. We're going to read the Read It, Live It for Helaman chapter 8. Here it is. And it says, when Nephi is standing on the garden tower, some rise up in anger against his words. Others cry out, let this man alone, for he is a good man. What would you have done? Ooh, I really hope that I would have spoke up. You know, depending on, I guess, what age. Right now, I would totally speak up. Back in the day, I don't know if I would have spoke up, but hopefully that I would have, right? And be a prophet defender is the challenge. Be a prophet defender. I love that. All right. Until Helaman chapter 9, stay strong, warrior, and be a prophet defender. Oh, and also the prophet's birthday was on the 9th. What was that? 2 days ago. And anyway, President Nelson is 100 years old. Can you even believe that? That is so wild. So wild. Anyways, he's the best. I love him. And I know that he is a true prophet of God.